everybody, and welcome back to the Us 3 podcast. Today, as you can see, I'm joined by Jonny, I'm joined by Kai, I'm joined by a very special guest, Luke Bennett himself, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing, Luke? Are you okay, sir?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you.
Long journey today for you today.
Yeah, it's longish, but not too bad. But thank you guys for inviting me.
We just
say that Luke has made his own way up.
Yeah.
From Wolverhampton.
Hey, for his own train, it's unbelievable. Thank
So
you
the
so
meal will
much
be
for
on
that.
us later on when we go for
The drinks have been as well.
But no, let's dive straight into this, Luke. You've had a busy few weeks, haven't you?
Yeah, quite. Yeah,
You've
quite
been
busy.
everywhere and anywhere, basically.
Well,
We were saying about before we went on like air, how easy it is to travel from where you are actually in the middle, but how much you've been travelling recently. You've been up and about doing loads of things.
Did the Content Creators Cup a couple of weeks ago, didn't you?
yeah. So Content Creators Cup was not this Friday, on the Friday before, down Ashford, Kent way, because there's two different Ashfords. Because some of the other creators went to another Ashford, I think it's in Surrey. So they ended up at the wrong one. So they had to quickly rebook their train tickets to get to the one. So I double checked on mine to make sure I was going to the right place.
Did half the team just not turn up then, or something like that?
Some of the team YouTube, I think it was, because they rocked up a few. Thing is though, I think that's what, because obviously we beat Team YouTube. Didn't just beat them, we destroyed them 8-3.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you any Team YouTube watching this, just putting it out there, you guys were giving it all the bigging before. We just destroyed you 8-3. But I think what...
The man's spoken.
Team TikTok, is
Yeah,
that what
Team
it was?
YouTube versus Team TikTok.
Right, okay.
Was it like a pummeling?
Yeah, I mean...
Don't act all like, just go for him, just go for him.
Relay B. I saw your little clip. If you watch this, I saw your little clip before the game saying, "Oh, they got Luke Bennett in goal. Just sit any shot. If as long as it goes on target, you'll go in." You conceded 8 in the end. I only conceded 3. So, and what I found a bit more disrespectful by him is that he kept that clip in his vlog.
Yeah, I didn't take it out.
Even though he knows the result.
Was he shitting goal?
Yeah, if you go back and watch the highlights, just saying, he goes.
How about you in goal? You're
I
right.
was pretty decent, yeah. I was coming out proper, going at people's feet.
Was there like a bit of a rivalry sort of beforehand, like in the dressing room, and the teams are coming out on the pitch?
If Kieran's watching this, our captain Kieran, man,
Kieran.
I'm gonna mention you, mate, because he said to us, right, for this 90 minutes, because obviously I'm a friendly guy, and that a lot of people know I'm a friendly guy, and that for this 90 minutes, you're not friendly. You go proper in, get stuck in for that 90 minutes. We're not friends with any of them.
Did
Did you take it seriously? Like, obviously, when you think it might be a charity match, you might think, "Oh, we're not going to take it as serious." But was it proper? Like,
I want to
proper
win,
game?
yeah.
Yeah, at first, a lot of us weren't going to take it serious, but then we thought, yeah, we're going to take it serious because people who are watching, we want them to see us proper going in, not just like, you know what I mean? Because it's a charity game. We don't want that thing. It's a charity game.
Yeah, you don't want to break legs.
No, we don't want to break legs. But there was a few interesting challenges. Let's put it that way.
Who was on your team then?
So some of you guys might have heard of. There's Luke Collectibles on there.
Yeah.
Zane was on there. Musa. Who else was on there? There's a few others as well.
I can't remember his own team.
Tom Garrett was on there. Yeah, Tom Garrett was
No,
on
that was the other game. That was the other game. There's 2 I played in. I'll come on to that one in a bit. But yeah, there's a few others there as well.
What about who was the YouTube team? Was it?
I can't remember all of them, but you had you guys heard of Rants before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Reeves was on there.
Yeah,
you had Reeves.
Reeves,
He
yeah.
was on there.
So what was it like meeting all these sort of creators? Was it sort of for the first time? And that
I mean, it was because obviously this was the second charity game I played in, the one I played in the week before, and it was like a surreal experience meeting these creators who I've watched before I even started.
Because you said you just at uni and TikTok is like on the side.
Yeah,
so
TikTok's on the
it
side.
must be mental just going to these games and meeting people like that. You look up
It's
to.
like meeting all these people and like fans coming down, creating banners with like my name on and coming up for pictures. It's
Did you
just
feel a bit like a professional footballer at the time?
because especially as well because I had a pre-match interview, post-match interview, as well.
the
And it
pushing
felt
back,
like
yeah.
with all the mics everything, and he was just.
That was good.
Yeah,
That was really good.
What's it like playing in front of like a crowd at a live stadium as well? Because I think that is, even if you don't make it professional, to do it in some sort of way is sort of every sort of like young footballer's dream. What's it like
Yeah, I
playing
mean,
in front of a crowd?
it was just amazing because it's hard sometimes because you need to concentrate on the game, and I'm not used to playing in crowds of like 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 plus, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And like when you got people screaming your name constantly, coming up chants on the sideline. It's just, but like especially in the Content Creators Cup, I felt like my head was in the game more than Match and Mind.
Yeah.
Because
Does the crowd help you and does it distract you?
at times, I mean, Because I was in goal, so I had them right behind me from minute 1 to minute 90.
So good.
And constantly chanting, so it's hard to focus. But I thought, you know what, I need to get my head in this game. Because we need to take this serious. We need to prove a point, because Team YouTube, I'd say probably had the better team overall. But they had 3 of their lads didn't turn up.
Oh, who did turn up?
I can't remember the exact names, but it was some of their big lads.
Was Troops there? Was he?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, Reeves was there as well.
Nice.
Did they not turn up? Was it because they went to the wrong?
I'm not 100% sure. And like, I think they only had 1 sub in the end. But still,
Who was the best player?
Still one.
what?
Who was the best
overall?
player overall?
Ooh.
Can't say yourself.
Probably got to be Zayn because he scored some absolute unbelievable.
Was he on
goals.
your team? Was he?
Yeah, he was on my team. Yeah.
TikTok team.
I mean, some questionable goalkeeping by their keeper. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm just.
If you put it on target, it might actually go in against him. Like
Yeah,
keeper.
like when it like kind of backfired because everything he was saying to me, well, that,
Well,
it wasn't
You
happening.
get quiet, and he
got
got
a-
loud, and he got calmer,
I'd
right?
say the
Yeah.
brave thing of doing, especially when that many people watch it, when you talk the talk before the game and then you ruin it in the 90 minutes is poor.
And then he
That's
said
poor.
he's not a keeper, but still, some of them, even if you're not a keeper, he didn't put any effort in at times. He was just going like,
Did you ever think that like you'd be like having like things like this happen? Like obviously when you started TikTok, would you ever think that 9 months down the road you'd be playing in like a content like Creators Cup?
no chance. I only went on there. I only wanted to get to 1K to go live. That was my original goal.
I'm still waiting for that. I can't lie.
And then I set a big goal. So, no, it's obviously I'll surpass it, but I set a big goal, 100K by the end of 2021. And I hit that by March.
Yeah.
March, April was probably when my first, I want to say, peak was.
Yeah.
It took me 3 months to go to 0 to 100K. It took me 3 weeks to go to 100K to 200K.
Really? That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Because that must be so surreal.
It was crazy because some days I could be gaining like over 10,000 followers each
Yeah.
day in like a 24-hour period, and it was just like, what is this? I'm just a normal guy who just lives in the Midlands, just on there for a laugh,
Yeah.
and somehow my get everything blew up.
Would you say that was a thing that? blew you up?
That's the thing.
People must forget actually sometimes that like you just have an ordinary life.
Yeah.
Like come on, like what in a day-to-day life, in the life of Luke Bennett, what is it like?
I mean, I work at goals, so I do a number of roles down there. I do kids' parties, I work on the bar. I was actually at work last night. I was on the bar, the functions, do the reception, do a bit of everything down there.
Did he get too pissed, Luke?
So, it was a 19th birthday party I was doing. So you can imagine what it was like. But yeah, even at that, I was getting recognised by people and like the functions.
Must be great though. It must feel nice.
It's
It's
nice.
recognised. Yeah.
But sometimes when I'm out with my family, like that's my time.
Yes.
And when I have people come
Yeah.
up to me, I don't mind it, but like if you want to come up to me, when I'm say from my mum and dad are over there and I'm over there, come up to me when I'm over there, not when I'm doing something else. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when we met, we saw Greg Davies in a Pizza Express once, the guy from Memphis Venus.
Yeah.
And he was in a pizza, he was having a lovely Father's Day meal with his family.
Now, he's gonna over exaggerate
I'm not gonna
how
over-exaggerate
loud
it.
I said what I said. But carry on.
Basically, and then like Greg Davies gets up, and Jonny, what are you shouting, Jonny?
He's leaving with his family. He's leaving the restaurant, and he's obviously. Have you seen the in between?
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah,
So
yeah.
I was Phil. He doesn't respond. Sort of,
Abused him, shouted Phil right at him. Abused him.
Pizza Express. Come on.
that's the most. He's playing up for the cameras. Isn't he? He's playing up for the cameras. Look. He does it. I know. That's the most over exaggerated. I'm sat facing the not facing the door. He's walking out that way. I'm just turning around. Phil, about that
He
loud.
was just enjoying his time with his
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
honestly.
He's leaving the
People like
restaurant.
this make me really annoyed.
It wasn't-
honestly.
Johnny's the issue here.
I am. Yeah.
What do your family like think of it then? Like,
They love it. I mean,
Hey.
my mum, my dad, and my little brother were all on TikTok before. Well, I was on TikTok but not posting, but they was all posting before. Made it like in the first lockdown last year. And they say to me, "Oh, come on, start posting." And like, I'm never gonna go in front of a camera doing some random stuff on TikTok.
Yeah,
I'm gonna laugh.
same.
And then I thought, obviously, when third lockdown is in January, I thought, you know what, this lockdown's gonna be tougher because it's in the winter. A lot more people are gonna be indoors. For myself and my own mental health as well, try and help with other people's mental health as well. I just wanted to create videos and try and entertain people.
Sorry, is that a driving force for you then to kind of like help other people?
Yeah. Just even now, obviously we've got no restrictions in now, but you've still got COVID, it's still in the talks and stuff like that. And you can see what's going on in Europe. Even here, cases are going up again. Will restrictions come back in? Hopefully not, but you never know. And it's always going to be linking back to mental health, and that was one of my main drives really.
Yeah.
Helping my own mental health, but help with others. and just create funny videos to make people laugh and just try and help them out through lockdown. And obviously, because all of us were stuck in the house really and could hardly go out.
Yeah.
And I've actually had people message me saying it's helped them with like mental health, and that's meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
And obviously that's one thing, just try and keep
I suppose it's like the charity matches that you're doing it for mine, which is for mental health, which is a great charity.
So the Match for Mine one, the other charity game what I was in Wales, that was for Mine charity. And obviously that meant a lot to me as well because that was my main aim, starting TikTok, so raising money for that. Obviously Content Creators Cup was for Cancer Research UK as well. So like doing these charity events as well, it's like, obviously my name's already out there even more, but doing events like this means a lot to me as well because it puts me out there even more. And
is it something you want to do more of then?
Yeah, I mean, coaching's my main thing, but I can use social media to help with that and link them both in as well. But I'm always, a lot of people have asked me, would you ever quit TikTok or anything? 100% no. Not with the position I'm in now. No. Regardless of all the people like reporting, all the like recently I'm getting a lot of hate, or the people reporting me stuff like that. You know, you're gonna have setbacks and that. Yeah. But the way I say to a lot of people, if you want to do social media or anything on social media, if you can't deal with hate, don't do it. Because you're going to get hate at some point, then you're doing it. 100%.
So the more you grow, the more chance there is, unfortunately. It just happens whoever you are, isn't it? It's horrible. And
unfortunately, it's happened to me recent weeks. And that, I mean, I've spoke with other creators who like pre-warned me about it. But, you know, I'll just let go over my head because there's a lot of people who are jealous of me out there and other people. And I say this to other creators as well, who like sometimes get upset about it. I say, look, there's a lot of people who want to be in our position. The only reason they're saying that is try and bring us down. Don't let it happen. Let it go over your head and keep doing it because 99% of them people out there do support you and that. There's always that small one.
I've always had that mindset.
Always, I've always had that mindset. And I like to give back to my fans as well. So there's a few other creators out there. I'm not going to mention any names, but there's a few other creators out there who try and push their fans away sometimes and get hate off that. I'm one of them who, if it wasn't for my fans, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in. So I want to give back to them. So anyone who wants to put out a picture video, I'm 100% happy to do that.
You do seem really like your fans. You love it. Like obviously you only started it out of just fun, and then your fans are just a thing that just keep you going.
100%. I like sometimes I can be working. For instance, last night I got in 1 o'clock in the morning from work. I thought I need to do my TikToks, and like some people say, why do you do it early in the morning? Because there's people out there who like might come in from like I don't know, they've been at work or something. And like, I've had people message me like the videos I do on the nights, they cheer them up. So like my Q&As, I do like funny videos and that, they cheer them up. So I think I want to do that because I don't know what people's days have been like. So I wanted that to try and cheer people up.
At the end of the day, leave them on
another example of that is on your Instagram. You do like a daily upload every day,
I do like a daily upload, so every morning. And also I've started to do other like an edited picture on an afternoon now as well. To be honest, my Instagram recently has gone right through the roof. Like some of my posts have hit like 8k likes, but for Instagram,
it's very good. Yeah, really good.
That's,
that's a hard thing too. That's one thing I've always found, like, and we have as well with the podcast. It's hard to translate it from TikTok over to other things. When you start doing that, that's when you start to be successful.
It is hard. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, you're so big on TikTok. Why are you not that big on YouTube and that?" And I say it's not as easy as just clicking your fingers and it happens overnight.
It's very hard to get people over. Like it's so easy to follow someone on TikTok. And it's so hard to get them people who follow you on TikTok over to YouTube or over to like
the amount of how long it would take someone to get 200k on YouTube would be
massive
like years and years and years.
Well, like you saying, you were getting 10k a day on TikTok. But to do it on YouTube, you know, it's incredibly hard because you don't get shown to as much audience. No. That's what it is.
So with TikTok and that, obviously, the more shares you get, the more TikTok push your video out there to like the audience, and that's when you get your more views. And to be honest, on TikTok, it's easy to get views. A lot easier compared to obviously YouTube. It's a lot harder because you have to go through a process. Like, I mean, I've started recently uploading more on YouTube as well. I mean, I've only got about 1k subscribers on there. So a lot of people say, "Oh, you've got like 200 odd on TikTok. Why not?"
How do you get them over? Like
I said, just like it's not as easy. I don't get me wrong recently because I'm uploading more. A few more coming over, so my YouTube is starting to grow more now. And I feel like the more I upload, and hopefully over the next coming months and that, it starts growing more on there. Because obviously TikTok's good, but obviously I want to try and grow on other social media platforms as well.
If you could grow, which one would you prefer to be more successful, YouTube or TikTok?
Probably YouTube because it's more known. TikTok's relatively new, but I feel like now a lot of YouTubers are coming over to TikTok and a lot of people are coming over to TikTok. So the position I'm in now, in like 10, 15 years time, potentially TikTok could go above YouTube. So the position I'm in now, could help me out in the future, like
Very
long
true,
term.
very
And that.
true.
What, so you talked about coaching and I mean that's something that not a lot of people would know about your life, would it? Like privately. I mean, so what you said you go to uni, right? You go to uni and do coaching. You go to uni and at Wolves. Has that always been a goal of yours since you were a kid to go to coaching?
Well, I must have been I was about 14. I mean, I used to play football at Sunday League for myself, and then when I was 14, I don't know. I just woke up one morning and just thought, no, I just want to give coaching a go, see what it's like. And then I started over an under-7s team. Bearing in mind, I'm still in school at this point, so at 14, it's you don't see many young people going out doing coaching with teams.
Not,
So I started over an under-7s team throughout like the summer and that, a couple of months. But they weren't willing to put me on courses, help me out. So that kind of set me back a little bit. So I took a break out, and then I think it was in the October of the same year, my auntie. She worked at a local place called Tips and Sports Academy to me, where there was a team called Skyforce who trained there. And she mentioned to the chairman, like, I wanted to get back into coaching. The chairman said, yeah, come along. So I helped her with what were they at the time now? They were under 10 to under 11s at the time. And so I was helping out with them, just helping put cones and stuff like that. And the chairman promised me, by the end of this season, I'll get you UFA level 1, I'll get you your own team. Delivered on both of them, and then I took over my own team the year after.
how old were you at this point?
So I was 14 then. I was about 15 coming on 16.
That's like incredible, right? Like taking over your own
That's
team.
really
at your
good.
15,
I was gonna say, a lot of
16.
15, 16-year-olds just want to be sort of playing.
I was coaching my own team on paper. That's
Well,
what
yeah.
I'm
I'm a manager. I'm obviously like, I'm coaching.
Man, a good career mode. I was
How in depth are you? Because what age group are you coaching at this point?
At the minute now, I'm with mini kickers, so it's like you're under 5s, like the little kids when they first start out.
Yeah.
And like from where I was with Skyforce and that, I was like getting ready to go 11 side with them, so it was 9 side, so it's like year 6, year 7s.
Yeah.
So like it's a big drop down in ages.
Yeah.
So you got to water down your sessions, like not make it too. You still got it. Like some things you can still do, but you've got to like make it more simpler for them because they're only little kids. Like the simplest thing is like learning to kick a ball, learning to throw properly, stuff like that. Talking, there's little bits, and you've got to make it fun. I've been told by a lot of coaches lower down and higher up who I spoke with, regardless of what age you go up to, you've always got to make it fun, engaging, and safe. They're the 3 main things you always get told. As long as you do them 3 main things, you're 100% smashing.
What's like the best moments you've had in coaching? So obviously like Guardiola's going to say, "Oh, I've won the Champions League."
Yeah.
I don't expect that to sort of be your
15 on the Champions League with some of the sixes.
the sort of the achievements and sort of like best highlights.
Probably
in that
when
sort
I
of
first
coaching
took
career
over the
so far.
Skyforce team, the previous manager, I'm not going to mention his name, but he did some quite nasty things towards the team. So the morale of the team was proper low. A load of players left. When I come in, I had about 6 players. I had about a month and a half to get a squad together. On my first match day, I just about had a squad. So I had to build the morale back up and plays. Obviously, it got
Proper rebuilding job,
I had to rebuild it up and that. And first couple of games was getting back to 15, 16 nil. You're going to have it. I expected it.
Yeah.
And then because obviously COVID hit, so it was stop. And then in our second season, we started to get better results. And I always remember, probably one of my best games, we won 8-0. And that meant a lot to me because compared to when I first started, it was getting back to 15, 16.
How hard is it coaching a team of like when you're like 15, 16?
A lot, because obviously at the time I was still in school, so obviously I was having GCSEs coming up, obviously getting ready to go to college, stuff like that. So obviously I had that focus, but obviously coaching as well. And obviously, at the time I took on role as manager as well. So that's a big step up, like a lot of just go and help out. I took the role as manager, so on the day I was like creating session plans, getting everything ready. Obviously I had people who helped me out with subs, stuff like that, spread sponsors, kits, stuff like that. But I was making sure, obviously getting all the session plans, stuff like that. Training, match days, getting the squads out, stuff like that. It was a lot, considering it's voluntary, it feels like having a full-time job.
When you're not paid, I think when you're actually kids in that situation, you don't realise, well, even when we're like doing like younger football, you don't realise how much time it takes for the manager. How much like of your week would it say it takes up?
So we had a 2-hour training session on a Friday, to start with anyway. Originally it was only an hour and a half, but I felt like that wasn't enough, so I boosted up to 2 hours. So create a session with that used to take me anywhere between an hour and a half to create a decent session. sometimes I could create a session, rip it up, chuck it in the bin.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could take me longer. Because what I used to do, so like on a Sunday as well, when we used to have games, on my phone on a bit of paper, write down a few notes, and whatever I felt like we needed to focus on to improve for our next game, do then the following training session.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can have all your squad turn up on a match day, but then only 7 turn up on training. So you've got to plan. So like you could plan a training session, like 12, only 6 turn up. So then you've got to adapt it and change it slightly. You still do the same training session in a way, but you've got to like adapt it, like take less players out, make the pitch smaller if need be. Or if you have more come than what you plan, you can make it bigger.
Was your commitment greater than maybe like other coaches that are around you? Because it seemed like you were when I was 15, 16 doing the GCSE, and then you've got to plan these training sessions. Just so your commitment was a lot higher than people.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, not to big myself up or anything, but I felt like
I'm not saying like, I was the greatest manager.
More work than like Daniel Fawkes did the last like. Yeah,
That's why he got
that was a
sacked.
bit of a weird one, wasn't he?
It was,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
a
yeah.
good
The
game.
Norwich job.
Well, if Nigel out there, if you want to,
Lawrence,
I'll try to get it.
you've not heard the amount of preparation this man's gone into for like under 6, under 7s. Think of what he can do to Timu Pukki and Todd Cantwell. Just
Certainly
under
Is there,
7.
is there a type of football that you kind of like try to play with people that are that young?
I mean, the current team I'm coaching with now, it's hard because you don't, like, some of them, they haven't got the set position. Like, I'm trying to, like, now, for example, this Saturday just when I was training, we've like split the groups up. So there's 4 of us, so we have so many there, so many there. We do a bit of training and get them into like, we want to get game situations now. We're trying to develop that a bit more, because obviously come next season, they'll go into a proper team. At the minute, they're still learning the basics, so we're trying to build up, get to know the position, get to know the players, get to know the individuals a bit more as well. Get to know parents, who comes, who doesn't. Because some you can have come 1 week and then they don't come the week after. And then come 3 weeks. So you've got to plan all that.
Is that balance hard though? Like obviously you're balancing TikTok, uni, and that.
I was
like,
just going to say
is
that
a
you
struggle?
do so much. I was
You
just
to
gonna ask
Ashford
that.
last week.
It's a lot. Like finding time, because obviously I work as well at uni, coaching, TikTok, doing podcasts like this, doing other stuff. It's a lot, and a lot of people say, "How do you manage to do it?" And sometimes I don't know myself, because like most days I'm always out the house, but I like that. I like being active, especially through. It's made me want to be more active even more now through obviously lockdown and that being locked in. So just play FIFA all the time.
Does it have a toll on you, like as a person? Then? 'Cause
Sometimes,
I'm going to say, I can imagine it does,
it's
doing all that
tiring
stuff.
sometimes. It's a lot, especially sometimes when I can be working early hours and then got to get up to, like, sometimes, for example, I can be working a Friday night. Sometimes I haven't got out to work till like 2:30. The latest I got at 2:30 the once. I got home, recording my TikToks, went to bed about 3:30, 4 o'clock. I was up 7 o'clock the following morning, coaching on the morning, 9:30 to about 10:15, and I was back down at goals working, did a few parties 1 till 5, back in work on the night.
When you're working at the parties, do you get to like play with them or like?
Sometimes, so it depends, like, depending on what age I have, a lot of the kids recognise me sometimes, so they want me to get involved, they want pictures, stuff like that. And some of the,
like a 2-foot
some of the
challenge.
parents are like, who's this, and they're like, oh, he's off TikTok, and they're trying, oh, okay. And like that, sometimes they're like, mum and dad, oh, take a picture of him, they're like, okay. They're a bit like, and like,
What do your like what do your family say about like kind of that like life, non-stop life? And what role do they play in it?
Surely they worry about you as well. Like, if you're
yeah,
out.
they worry about me. Like, they're constantly always messaging me, even when I come down here, they're messaging me, you okay? And that, like, I'm okay. Like, I'm 18, 19 nearly, you know, I'm an adult now.
Yeah.
You know, and I like having the independent life a bit more now. And I look back as well, like, some of my mates I don't speak with as much now, because they just sit in sometimes, play PlayStation, and like just don't do anything with their life. And I don't want to be dragged into that.
Yeah.
I want to be doing something with my life.
Do you think that TikTok is giving you that? Like, say if you didn't do TikTok, do you think you would still maybe be indoors playing like things like that?
Probably a lot more, yeah. I feel like with TikTok as well, it's helped me grow my confidence, because I used to be like quite a shy kid. A lot of my mates and a lot of people in like when I was in school and early college, I would say. I was quite shy, and then through TikTok, it's had to build my confidence. You have to have a lot of confidence to stand. Like some of the videos I've done, like I've jumped in rivers, I've done dancing on a bus. I can be sitting in the middle of a shopping centre, like recently doing Halloween features, also wearing like Halloween stuff and that, crawling around floors in shopping centres doing content and that. People look at me like, what's this guy doing? This time last year, I wouldn't have the confidence to even stand in front, even do something like this. I wouldn't have the confidence to do. So it's helped me boost my confidence as well.
That's great.
And open new doors as well.
So you're saying like you were quite shy then? Is that something you were like throughout like pre-soccer? Was that something you throughout school?
Yeah, I was pretty like obviously when you was in class, I used to never really put my hand up, and teachers, I used to like didn't really talk a lot. But through social media now, it's built my confidence up a lot, and that's helped me out, especially me as a coach as well. You've got to be confident. You've got to show to the kids. If you're not confident, then the kids are not going to believe in you. So you've got to show you're confident, because you're their role model. If you want to put it in that sense, they look up to you, and you want to help develop.
You like that element of it being like a role model?
Yeah, I like that, because a lot of people look up to me, and I want to help out a lot of people. And like going back to what I said earlier, like mental health stuff like that, I want to help a lot of people. And a lot of people who are, like, for instance, you guys as well, with your podcast and that. After this, I'll give you a shout and everything. I'll try and help you guys out.
I appreciate it. It says a lot about you as well as a person.
I was going to say,
I was on a podcast recently as well, and I hope this happens to you guys as well. I help those guys like put little snippets on their TikTok as well, and I think one of their videos got over 400k views.
The lads podcast.
The lads podcast,
yeah.
That was only a couple of weeks ago, and they've doubled their followers recently. And obviously they've got like Ollie Ball and that.
Yeah.
It really does feel like pretty much most of what you do, like day in day out, is just kind of like to help people.
That's always my number one thing, to help people out. A lot of people come and ask me, like, how do you become big on social media? And there's not a set answer for that. Because you just do something. But I always say to someone, if you want to do something, do it. Obviously, I've explained, like, I am not harsh, but I'm upfront with people. Like, you're going to get hate at some point, so if you can't do the hate, don't bother doing it. But if you're going to do something, do it. Create your content. People will enjoy it eventually. Like, it took, through January, February, I was only on like 3k followers, and I thought, this is not going to go anywhere really easy. And I could, at times, I have felt like quitting. Even like recently, with what's been happening, I felt like quitting, but I thought, no, I can't do this, because there's a lot of people who rely on my stuff, and I'm in a position I'm in for a reason. There's a lot of people who would be devastated if I do. So I always have that in the back of my head. Like, I've got to keep going, regardless what happens. I've got to keep going.
Does that kind of because obviously it's like I've got to keep going, but does that sometimes maybe have the effect on you? Because that obviously can be quite like maybe a burden sometimes, can't it? It's a bit like even if I stop for 1 second, I might be letting people down. Like, like on you.
Like sometimes, for instance, obviously when we was at the charity games, we went out on the night as well. Obviously I didn't record videos on that night, but I was at the back of my own, like, I don't know what people have been through on that day, so if I don't do videos that day, I don't know what they might be expecting, you know what I mean? But like, I've got to enjoy my life as well, not just being TikTok, social media.
You don't want it to become like a job. You want it to be keep
you
as a hobby.
It's like a bit of a guilty conscience where you're thinking, I've got to get videos out. I said, what's like the hardest? What was sort of the point where you came closest to thinking, look, I might just sort of sack this off?
There's been numerous times when I felt like just going completely off. If I go recently, I had my account permanently banned. What was like a bit of a shock to me, because of people being silly on my lives, and it took me a week to get it back, and I thought, look, if I can't get this back, it's going to be hard to regrow. So is it worth just stopping?
Although you are like known, so the audience eventually would come back to you, but you're not going to have that.
How frustrating is that? Like, obviously, you've put up this, and obviously you've also talked about trying to help people, and then like you're getting banned. Like,
we
how
spoke about this with Andrew, didn't we, last week?
We had someone else on who got his accounts banned, but still brought up the following to not the heights that he had before, but still brought it.
Like, it was hard. I mean, I'm lucky. I've got my account back. It took me a week to get it back, but I was speaking with other creators who've been in similar situations. They've got contacts with TikTok. I was constantly emailing TikTok every week. It took me a week to get it back. But like that week, I do have a backup account, but I've got about 20-30k on there. It might sound a lot to you guys, but compared to when I've got 200 on mine, it's not.
What was that week like that week when you got banned?
It's quite hard, because I was uploading them. I was still doing my normal videos on my backup, but my views weren't as much. I weren't earning my money. But you know, it was nice because my notifications weren't constantly. I mean, on other socials were, but TikTok they weren't as much as before. But it's quite hard because I'm used to doing so many things, getting so many views, hitting so many targets and that. And obviously on my backup account, I'm not going to hit it. I was expecting to be like 30k. You know, some videos did blow up, some videos didn't. Compared to if I did on my main.
Sometimes it's just luck, though, isn't it? Sometimes it is just like I found.
It's luck. And if, like I say, it's people sharing. People find it funny. They'll share it to the mates. They'll share it on Snapchat, share it on Instagram, share it on Twitter, whatever. And obviously that pushes your content out more. And then TikTok will say, oh, this video's actually might potentially do well, or benefit them as well. So they'll push it out more.
Why do you think that people are just like stupid on lives? Is it just people like attention seeking, or is it
probably attention seeking?
Well, and they probably find themselves funny. Think, oh, look what I can do on a live.
Trying to make themselves look big. Trying to make themselves go viral. There's numerous things trying to bring me down because of jealousy. There's a lot of people like that. I mean, I've had to stop my life completely right now, and I've had a bit of backlash off that, but I've had to explain to people, look, if I continue doing my lives the way I'm doing,
You're gonna get banned.
I'm going to get banned again.
Yeah.
And if I get banned
And
again,
in the long run, that's not
I
going to help.
probably will not get my account back second time round.
Yeah.
So I've had to stop them for now, and I've got to figure out a strategy of how I can still get people on, but in a safe and controlled way.
Might be worth doing it on Instagram because then you can get people over to Instagram.
I did do it on there,
Yeah.
but I got banned on there. So that's the. I mean, I was because obviously I stopped doing it on TikTok,
Yeah.
and then people are still. It weren't as much, but there's one live. Was it last week? Last week or the week before, one of my lives, and that got banned. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to stop this completely because they're coming over now.
It's gonna
And,
risk it. It's risking it, isn't it?
When you mention like the shares and all that stuff, like obviously TikTok finds one video, people share it, it blows up. The one sort of for you, were obviously those sort of get out videos. Where did the concept of them start?
a lot of people
that first video, if you can sort of remember it, go back.
This is a quick question you get all the time.
I get it a lot. I mean, the Q&A feature come on TikTok in February.
Yeah, it was about that time that it came on. Was the Q&A?
I think it was
feature.
February, the end of February. And I saw this and I thought, you know what, I'll just give it a go. I saw people doing it, and like some people are going quite big. I thought, I'm not going to go big off this.
Yeah.
Like, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
And then I think one of my first big ones was, what would you do? Can't in my fridge. And I go, can't in my fridge, get it out. And like that blew up, and that's got like 1.4 million views now.
Yeah.
At the time, it was like 89, like, I think on the night it was on 200k, and I woke up the following morning, it was like 800k, like 600k views overnight. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then Chelsea, if you guys are football fans, you know Chelsea FC. Their official TikTok page used my sound, and that's probably one of the first big ones. And I was like,
That was unreal, honestly.
and I put
I was
Kanta in the
seeing
end of the
that come
video, putting glasses on. I was like, oh
I think
my
I saw
god.
that actually
Yeah.
come on the For You page. I remember it came up.
And I've had obviously Watford as well. They've used my same BT. Obviously, I'm a Wolves fan. Wolves have used it as well. What
Yeah.
meant a lot to me as a Wolves fan. BT Sports have used it. Gary Lineker's mentioned me on a programme before. What meant a lot to me.
That's ridiculous.
Did you plan what you were going to say before I made the cancelling, or did it just kind of like naturally?
It just someone asked me a question, so I can't remember the user who asked me, but thank you for that question.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for you,
Is that your most viewed video then? Is that
no,
one?
my most viewed video was last month doing a dance on a bus. It's on 2
Oh,
million
yeah,
views.
I saw that. Yeah.
Got 2 million views
I've
now.
seen that. Yeah. Brilliant.
Do you plan your stuff beforehand then, or do you just kind of like, oh, this is the week?
You've got the outro as well.
That outro, by the way,
Yeah.
is rapid.
Yeah.
A lot of
It's
people
It's
like
rapid.
ask me, why do you do so quick? And like with TikTok, you want to try and keep your videos short and snappy. So I'll try and keep my videos between 20 to 30 seconds long, maximum really. So if I do my outro quick, like once I've done the acting everything, that takes like 15-20 seconds. Then I only want the outro to be like 5-10. So that's why I speak quick, because if your videos are like they've got the 3-minute thing on there, I don't agree with that, because who's going to really sit there
Sit
watch
for
a
a
TikTok for 3 minutes? They're not going to.
The only time I ever watch it is if it's a TV show and it's
Yeah,
a TV show. I'll sit there
I'd
watching.
prefer that than the people who do like come back for part 2, come back.
Oh,
part
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
sat there
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
just
yeah.
like
No, that's
I'm not
possible,
seeing
I hate
anything
that,
at
Luke.
all.
See, one
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
I hate at the
That's why I
moment.
did.
One thing I hate at the moment is like, oh, this is advice for you and your relationship, and it's in the comments, and you watch the whole video expecting it to
Yeah.
come on the screen, and then you
Do
have
you
to
know,
search
you
through
have
the
to,
comments.
do you know how they get? You have to follow them, and then I do.
You do it.
It comes up with relationship advice. I'm like, oh, thanks, unfollow.
It's a bit lonely.
Very lonely.
Relationship advice for
Any relationship advice? I'll take anything. Luke.
I mean, I'm single at the minute myself,
Yeah.
so we probably
Johnny's a bit desperate at this point.
Honestly, we're taking anything.
No, you'll love this, right? So yesterday we were
out him on a podcast.
So it's very
yesterday we were sitting in the it was a wild Saturday night out. We were sitting at the pub playing a board game, and
Was it? We saw.
Yeah. Gareth.
Oh, no! I thought you were talking about the couple. We were playing a board game at a pub, and then we look over to the right, and there's just couples just enjoying drinks, and we're sat here like, oh no, we are just playing a board game in a pub. Like, this is not alone.
Everyone's so romantic. But should I tell the story then or not?
I don't mind. Oh, it's a bit weird, actually. It is.
It's a little bit weird, but no, basically, and then so like my mum FaceTimed me. She was like, because we have like family friends.
Yeah.
And there was this like, and we get on like the phone, and my mum's a little bit like pissed at this point.
Hammered.
Like, hammered. Like she's hammered.
It's like a little bit hammered.
Not a little bit.
Hammered at 9 o'clock after like one drink. My mum, like just a huge
Like
like.
mother, like son.
Everyone's like, anyway. And then we're on the phone to my mum, and turns around, she's like, oh, Johnny chick. And then she's like, there was this girl, right? And this girl was 15, like she's like, yeah, 10. And my mum goes, oh, we'll set you up, you two.
I literally sat there, I was like, And then he put the phone down, music. She's like, year 10. I was like, are you fucking... Can you tell your mum to shut up, please?
And I asked her in the morning, I was like, Mum, you know what she said? And she was like, yeah, I meant in the future.
In the future.
That's that's like a scouting moment.
And then we were talking about it later on in the evening, just like, how weird was that? He's like, yeah, it's like year 10. Then the next line you say is, I'm so annoyed I never stuck it on her, I never got with her. And I was like, what? And I was like, what? And then you were like, oh no, I was talking about someone else. It got mixed up with the conversation. It was a very odd conversation.
Oh wait, so you were talking about someone else?
He was talking about someone else, but it was literally the minute after I just mentioned that conversation, he was like, oh, so annoyed I didn't put it on her. I was like, what? She's like, oh no, someone else. Very odd.
Very odd. It was a very odd experience. It was a very odd experience.
So we were talking about the charity events before, Luke. We were saying about that, and we'll get onto this because I've seen you talk about it on the last podcast, and you spoke about it before. If you were to fight someone in a social media boxing match, who would it be, and why would it be Cal the Dragon?
I did call Cal out because going back to the thing, a lot of fans were coming to me for weeks and weeks. Oh, call Cal out, call him out for boxing match, call him out for charity. And like, you know, so I did on one of my lives. I could have got a ring sorted, stuff, event, training for safety. I could have got all that sorted, and it disappointed me a little bit. He could have just said yes or no. But like I was messaging him, it was blanking me. A lot of people going in his live, spamming it. He turned his comments off on his live.
He turns his comments off on his videos as well. He turned that? Oh, stop that.
He's turned them back on now.
Turned them back on.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I called him out, and it took him 3 weeks to get back to me. And it wasn't actually even through him. It was through. You guys might know Simple Simon.
Yes.
It was through him to someone who I go live with, Stuart, on Instagram. It was through him to him, then to me, or something like that. So it wasn't
And Sugar Brothers.
Chinese whispers, wasn't it? It almost like passed it down.
And he apparently didn't want to do it. What's fair enough.
And then you met him a few weeks ago, didn't you?
Yeah, I met him a few weeks ago, and to be, I have a lot of respect for Cal. I'll be honest with you, and you can take this how you want, Cal. I'm just going to be honest with you. I have a lot of respect for you, but some of the stuff you do, I don't agree with, and I think there's a lot of people out there who don't agree with. I get that you get a lot of hate, and I mean, for example, after the Content Creators Cup, you had a lot of abuse, and I had a chat with you after the game, and I said to you, look, you know, you've seen what's happened on my live recently. I've been getting a lot of stick, a lot of hate. You just gotta let go over your head, because if you let it get to you, people do it more and more and more, and you know, you just don't let it. I know it's hard, but I had a chat with him. And like, he went back to
He
Nottingham.
seems like a nice. He seems like a
He's
decent.
a nice guy.
lad,
He's a nice guy. And I don't. People say he's got issues. I don't know if he has or not. You know, I'm not going to get into any of that.
Yeah. It's not discussed.
But you know, I have a lot of respect for him, and he's in. Like I said to him, you're in a position. You've got 1.2 million followers on TikTok. You're in that position for a reason. There's a lot of people who like your content and enjoy your content. There's always going to be that small minority.
You're never going to please everyone, are you?
No,
You're never going to
please everyone.
No.
You're always going to have people hating out there on your. Like recently, like I've said before, I get it a lot recently. But there is some of the stuff I don't like. He went on social media after saying, "Oh, I think he went. I can't remember the exact words, but I think he went. Oh, I did shocking in the match in charity game. I don't know if I should be here anymore, something like that."
Yeah.
And I think that was a bit too far. You don't go on social media posting about that, like suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
You don't put it on there because I feel like that's attention seeking in a way, and I did not agree with that. And I said to him, "Look, you know, no need to." I didn't
Might have been
message
a
him.
flash in the pan moment from him.
He
though.
might have been,
Yeah.
but he had a lot. And then obviously Content Creators Cup, he should have been there. He backed out the day before. He had a shoulder injury apparently. He might have had one. He might not have one. I don't know. But from speaking with the other guys, he wanted it originally. Then 2 weeks before the event, he backed out. Then he said yes. Then he said no. Then he, I think, he said yes again. And then he wanted them to pay for his travel. Then he asked for a private taxi to try and get there.
Okay.
You can ask some of the other guys on there, they'll back me up on this point.
Comes out of his taxi with headphones, trying to wave the camera.
Like T.Y., you know, when you're sitting there on the
T.Y.,
beach.
his name's Ty.
T.Y. Oh, shocking, Josh.
That's awful.
Ty from Arsenal Fan TV, you know, he comes
Yeah,
out with
yeah,
the
yeah,
videos,
yeah.
everyone's like,
T.Y. dollar sign. No, it's Ty.
Anyway, like Simon, yeah.
yeah.
Little
Comes
my little
out,
miss up
rocks
there.
out.
But yeah, it's
What was he like? Did you play against him then? You
Yeah.
outfield then?
Yeah, so in that game I played right back. He played left wing.
How was that?
The second half, it was good.
The matchup?
The second half, I think a lot of fans wanted me and him to go at each other, if you know what I mean. Like, I have a lot of
2-foot slide
respect and like,
tackles.
even when I spoke to him, I said, put our like banter. Like, it's all just banter.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Cal knows it's all
building
banter.
the event, innit? You've
Yeah,
got to
it's all
sell the
banter.
event.
I was going to say, yeah, it makes people want to go watch.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people were expecting him to put a bit more effort, and he even said himself he should have put a lot more into the game. And I wanted to come at me a lot more. And he come at me a few times, got past me a few times the odd time. Not a lot.
Wasn't he rocking like the sort of Grealish hairbands?
Yeah, the Grealish hair, yeah. And I think a lot more people wanted a lot more out of him.
Yeah.
Because especially that second half, we was like by the main stand, and a lot of people were proper at us and that. And obviously he went to social media after put his stuff out. But I agree with some of it, but don't agree with other bits of it.
Do you think you pocketed him or not?
Well, a lot.
He's an half decent player, you know. I actually think he's an half decent player.
Yeah, I think he plays in goal, but then some of the finishes he does.
It's good. If you're practicing all the time, you're going to be good, aren't
you're
you?
gonna be alright, yeah.
I mean, a lot of people say I pocketed. We did win in the end 4-2. So
Okay.
That's the pocket in my opinion.
Cal didn't score.
Get
No.
assist.
No.
That's a pocket.
That's a
in my
pocket.
opinion.
The pocket.
I must admit, it's all in the skin and gloves. Because when you're wearing like long sleeve, I'm such a fan of that.
Oh, yeah, you
I'm such a
take
fan.
the shot.
I was looking at the images, I was like, long sleeve, gloves, screams baller. I'm not even joking, it screams baller.
Yeah, I mean, Cal did get 2-footed in the. Everyone wanted me to 2-foot him. Like 2-foot Cal, 2-foot Cal, 2-foot. I didn't really want to do it because I don't want to like risk breaking.
Yeah,
I
Don't
didn't
be the
really
reason for like ending his career, do you?
But someone did. I can't remember his name, but someone did 2-foot. They won the ball. But ball on, he was coming down the road. It's clipped. If you guys, some of you guys might have already seen it on TikTok and that. But if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. Just type in Cal Dragon 2-foot match remind, it'll come up.
So what's
It was a good challenge, but it's the way he just gets stuck out and he gets stuck off his feet. And at the time, because obviously I started on the bench, a lot of people were disappointed with that, but it is what it is.
Captain's choice, innit? Gaffer go understand
Choice.
it.
I mean, I did come on and then played majority the rest of the game, but yeah, and obviously second half when I was up against him, that people were enjoying it, but I think a lot of people wanted him to put more in, and he even said,
Do you prefer him as a keeper or outfielder?
obviously I've seen more of him as a keeper than outfield. So.
That's what he went viral for, wasn't it? Being a
So
keeper,
I can't really. Obviously, as a keeper, I mean, I don't know if he's like he said he had a shoulder injury for the Content Creators Cup. Yeah, I think I saw a clip the other day of him doing some keeper practice or something. A lot of people say he was faking it. I'm not one of them to judge or anything.
Yeah.
If he had a legitimate injury, fair enough. But I felt like he was a bit bad. He was saying 1 minute yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. They got his
fair
kit, and a lot of the organisers are angry at him. Because there's a lot of people who come down, pay tickets, come and see him. Like, some people come down different parts of the like Ashford, it's all the way down. So
He's probably one of the bigger people there as well.
draws,
he draws a lot of crowd. And I reckon if he would have been there, he might have drawn a bigger crowd.
How were people like Troops and like Reeve? Like, did you tweet them a bit? Or?
I spoke with Reeves and that, and it's like a surreal experience to speak with some of these and that. Well, to be honest, in the game, so I don't know if you guys saw, there was a red card in the game as well.
Yes, it's I saw that, yeah.
It's a charity game, like.
The referee got blamed a lot, didn't he? Did the
Yeah,
referee get blamed a bit?
Alfie. He's an alright ref. You know, the organised. I got to know him a bit more as well. He's an alright guy. He's only young as well. I mean, it was a corner coming in. FIFA addicts on our team. We went for scorpion kick, caught him in the face by accident. Don't get me wrong, he had a big mark, but FIFA addicts is 16. Ham's a grown bloke,
Yeah.
so he gets a bit angry. He goes up to him, pushes him. I don't know if he punches him or pushes him again. But it's a charity game. He's 16 in the day. You don't go at him.
Fair enough.
He got sent off. He was proper going angry in that. And then I believe I got told that at half, like he wanted to go and have FIFA addicts over at half time after the game, so they had to escort him out to the ground to make sure nothing happened. It's a charity game,
Yeah.
like.
And even if it wasn't charity game, it's a friendly.
Yeah,
it's
still-
TikTok
Yeah.
for YouTube.
You know, you don't want to see red cards in a charity game.
Yeah. No.
But it was 100% a red card, you know.
Would we? Sorry, Josh. Would we ever see a diss track from you to Cal Dragon? Because that is something that I think everyone would love to see. That would be a 3-minute feature on TikTok.
Yeah.
Who knows what can happen in the future? Let's put it that way.
What I mean, you said about your you said about you just go back a little bit. You said about your friends, didn't you? And you said about how like kind of they stay inside. When we spoke to like a lot of like people like yourself and creators and that, they've seen like online has given them like a growth. They've met loads of people, maybe outgrown their friends. Do you not? Would you say you've made like? Would you say like the people at home and you've kind of outgrown people and like just because he's made you like TikTok's made you like maybe a bigger like a better person?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of my mates from school, college, I've kind of distanced away from because like, not if any of them watching this, I'm not being nasty to some of you guys, but some of you guys are not doing a lot with your life, but there's reasons for that, you know, I understand. But I didn't want to get dragged into down that bit, so I wanted to do something in my life. So I'm at uni now, obviously social media.
Would there be people that would like encourage maybe like TikTok like thing, or the people that like bring you down?
There's a few of my mates. You know, you guys might have seen my mate Kyle. He's probably one of my closest mates. He's like my cameraman. You might have seen him in a few videos and that. He comes down, does stuff for me and that. And he's probably one of my closest mates. I've got closer with compared to some other mates. And that's why he's my cameraman, stuff like that, because he encourages and he helps me, and I help him out a lot as well.
Yeah.
Like he gets like when he comes down, he gets to meet these crowds, so he watches himself. So it's a it's a experience for him as well.
It's good for him.
But yeah, and like I feel like I meet a lot of new people, like meeting you guys, like doing this, but meeting a lot of new people and that. It's nice traveling around the country. It's
That's
nice
why we
doing
like
stuff like
doing
this.
as well, don't we?
Yeah,
We meet
the
so
amount
many
of
people
people
doing
we've
this.
met.
And I've always said, like, especially from like growing like where I've come from, like maybe like when I was in school, I was kind of like a quieter person, maybe like yourself. And I grew up, and then I like got to uni, I'm like the loud, and I kind of go home.
Yeah.
And I go home and I just feel like, mate, I've just outgrown. Like,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
we discussed it, didn't we? We discussed it so many times on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm like that when I go
and
home
I
as
just
well.
feel like maybe there are some people, like, obviously I know I'm going to TikTok, but there's some people that are kind of jealous because I was never the kid that was like that. They were always people that are louder, more popular than me.
And the tension's moved away from it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people out there like that. I feel like I have, like you said, outgrown and moved on from certain like. In life, it's gonna happen in life. You're gonna have it,
Yeah.
and you gotta do what's best for you at the end of the day. Not to please you, mate. You gotta do what's best for you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who try and just go with their mates because they've known them for a long time.
Because it's comfortable. You need to push yourself
you
out
need
of
to
your
push
zone.
it out of your comfort zone. Like I've done that through social media and that, and like I've done videos jumping in rivers and stuff like that, doing dances on buses and like doing some like.
Do you not care like that, like young adults? But you just not care.
I
What
don't care anymore. I don't care anymore.
alright,
because
Best attitude.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Was there a point that you stopped caring, or have you just like always been like, nah?
Like when I first did it, it was like a bit like, what am I doing here? Like people are looking round. Like and like sometimes it took like when I first started, it used to take me a lot longer to do videos because you used to be a lot more nervous now. I feel like a lot more, like the more you do it, the more you become more confident doing it.
That's like sort of, even when we were filming in like Frankie and Benny's like a couple of weeks ago, and we've got people eating their food, sort of looking at us like, "What are you doing?" It does sort of take a bit
Now
of
we're
time.
in a restaurant. I know there's no one
There
sat
is-
around.
there is no one
There's no
here.
one sat around us.
the people.
We have done
We've got a live
episodes.
studio audience here.
We have done episodes before where there has been quite a lot of people around, and it does happen.
You
You
do have
get
to
used to
kind
it.
of get used to it, yeah.
Obviously, you said about like your coaching, and I mean, you said about that screen with your future. Like, what in an ideal like future, what does that like lie? What does your future lie with you?
Well, like with social media, like unless you get like sponsorship deals and get proper out there, well, I could get there, but at the minute I'm not. That's why it's always going to be a side thing. Now, coaching's always the main goal. So obviously I'm at uni doing a degree. I want to go into academy stuff like that. Go progress through it. So obviously I've got my FA level 1 at the minute. I'm trying to do my level 2, but the FA have messed up all the system and redoing it all. So I can't do my level 2 till next year now. So that's pretty bad. Obviously through COVID as well, it's pretty like everything is put everything, a lot of things back.
What's your goal with coaching? Coaching? What's your goal with coaching then?
Probably just going to academy. So obviously I've just started uni, so 3 years time I want to be in academy doing some role, and then potentially go on. You know, the dream is obviously to manage in the Premier League, and that's the dream. But realistically, is that going to happen? Probably not. I'm not always going to have that set. If I can get in an academy, that'd be a good standard for
Or
me.
here's one: would you rather manage, let's say, win Wolves the Premier League, or like Man City to the Champions League or something like that because they haven't done it before, or England to the obviously England.
Who do you hate more? Out of like, do you hate Villa the most?
Fine.
I mean,
Oh yeah, sure.
Do you
Actually,
hate Villa the most?
I hate Villa a lot because they just don't shut up about when they won the old European Cup.
So would you rather win the European Cup with Villa again?
Right, so
Or
win the European Cup with Villa, Wolves get relegated, or get relegated with Villa and Wolves win the European Cup, but you're still the manager of Villa.
it's a really good situation to put himself in.
I don't want to get relegated as a manager,
However,
but
yeah.
for my own team to win,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to take that because, you know, you can.
But you winning the European Cup, you personally, and then Wolves, you get relegated. It's a tough one.
You know what? Just for my own personal thing and my own ego, win the European Cup with Villa.
There we go. I think it would be, wouldn't it? I think that means you get more. You'll make more money, more successful. And then, if you get relegated, you probably lose your job.
Does it feel as good though? That's the
If you get relegated, you could do like a Daniel Farke bounce back in the next season. You just don't know.
I mean, Norwich are just like a yo-yo
That's a
club.
great
really.
question. That's a really good question. I don't know what I'd do.
That's a tough one. I mean, I probably would want to win the European, but then with your rivals,
It's like, I'm winning the European Cup, I'm winning it with like, say,
I feel like if you're a fan and the club know you're a fan, you automatically get like a bit of a love whatever you do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Tough one.
it's not like you're just getting a club down and they're like, "Oh, get out." It's like,
Here's what we are.
get out.
Here's what we are. Manage Real Madrid or manage Wolves?
Oh,
That is a good one as well.
I think it's manageable.
Yeah, I think I'd be United.
That's quite obvious. I think Wolves. I think I'll go Wolves.
But it is Real Madrid. It's the top of the top. It's creme de la creme.
I mean, a lot of people go for Real Madrid, but as I'm a Wolves fan, I would want to go with Wolves and try and progress. And if I got the success of Wolves and took them above where Real Madrid are, that'll mean a lot more.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I'll probably go with
But
Wolves.
also, you're from the area, so again, it's your local.
Would you
knows the
happily
club.
would you happily stay at someone like Wolves if you were manager the whole career?
It depends on the situation and
Yeah.
money talks in
Money,
football.
yeah, it does.
Let's put it that way.
I feel like you'd happily stay at someone like
I'd happily stay at
these.
these for my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be unreal.
Oh, that's State United, because United's at the top. It's one of the biggest clubs in the world, isn't it?
Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate.
What do you think to Wolves at the moment?
So again,
What do you think to Wolves this season? Are you been alright? Decent?
yeah, we're doing decent. I mean, start of the season. I mean, we had a tough start. We had Leicester United, Spurs, three tough games. Lost all three of them. Should have won all three, really. I was at the
I don't know about the top
United and Spurs game. The Spurs game we should have definitely won.
Was
United
that a
game.
Dele Alli penalty? And that was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I remember that.
You deserve to be Man United more.
Yeah, United game we should have.
How you can
yeah.
score against
Yeah,
Man United.
yeah.
David De Gea
Yeah.
was on something.
Yeah, David De Gea has been this season. He's been incredible. It was
Look at yesterday, for instance, against City.
So
Yeah,
yesterday
close
just
yesterday.
happened.
It could have been 6-0 by half time for De Gea yesterday.
Was it his fault that they conceded the second?
It was, but then again, Luke Shaw shouldn't have let him get into that position in the first
Should've
place.
been
Luke Shaw
United.
was-
Very true, very true.
You know, I mean, United, for their history-wise, they're not in the position where they should
Nah.
be.
No.
No way.
At the minute, the bigger team in Manchester is Man City. It's a fact.
The better team. I wouldn't say they're the bigger team. I said they're the better team.
History-wise, United
Yeah.
currently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
City.
I agree with you on that.
Again, money. Look at City, for
Yeah.
instance, 2002, 2003. Those in the Championship.
Yeah,
New owners come in, boost them up.
yeah.
And like without Newcastle, now with their new owners coming in, could they be a lot of people saying could they be the next Man City? I mean, it'd be a bit interesting if they get relegated, the richest club in the world, get in the Championship.
I was going to say that would. I'd
Yeah.
love to see what the owners do with that. Who would you? Let's get some predictions for this season. Who do you think's going to win the league? Who do you think's going to the three to go down? And who's going to be top scorer?
Yeah.
Or like,
Oh, so team to win the league, I reckon Chelsea.
ooh, okay, yeah.
A lot of people are still going to go with City again, but again, City have had. I mean, they lost to Palace.
Wobbles. Yeah, that's
You know, a
wobbles.
couple of weeks ago. You know, they're a bit shaky. I feel like.
Not having a striker all season.
Yeah,
Not really, yeah.
With
Yeah.
You
I think
know,
Liverpool are very under the radar this year as well. I think
Really?
Liverpool have.
I think it is between them three.
Yes, it is.
Really,
Yeah,
it is.
it is.
but
Yeah,
I think
right now.
Chelsea overall on top.
Very
Three teams to go
Mike Lowe.
down. One's obvious, Norwich. Sorry,
Yeah.
but Norwich.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
one. I mean,
It's a few, isn't there? There's a
Looking
few
at
in there on
what
that.
Newcastle, Burnley.
Leeds.
Don't you dare pass in there.
I mean,
Do you need to go down? God,
Oh, God.
Do you think needs to go down?
Leeds.
I think they're too good to go down.
I don't think they'll go down. I don't think Leeds will go down. I don't think Newcastle will go down. I think they'll
Ooh.
somehow find a way.
Who goes down then?
Burnley.
I think Burnley are going down. And then the last, it's always tough on the last place because
Who else you got there?
Watford, Palace.
Villa?
Palace, all right.
Villa? Oh,
I'll
dude,
be honest
Villa
with you,
went down.
I'm a Wolves fan, but I don't think Villa will go down.
Okay.
I don't think Villa will go
Think
down.
Dean Smith will get sacked.
Dean Smith gets that. I mean, they've lost the last five. Haven't they? If they keep losing, yeah, he will get sacked. I mean,
Yeah, should
there's
do,
pressure
yeah.
on
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
But he's done a good. I mean, losing for Grealish is always going to be tough. And they had a decent start to the season, but I feel like since we beat them, 2-0 up in the 80th minute, 3-2 full time. Just pointing out there to Villa fans. Sorry,
Big Josh, be watching, man.
Yeah.
their form just gone right down. And ours has gone right. Because at one point, Villa were above us, and you had all the Villa fans saying, mind the gap walls. Now, it's us mind the gap wall and the gap Aston Villa, if you know what I mean. We're up in the top half, and they're down near the bottom. And potentially, depending on results like today, they could, I mean, I don't think they will, but they could end up in the relegation zone.
It's
depending on
obviously
results.
we're recording this on the Sunday morning.
Literally just before the 2 o'clock
It's 2 o'clock
kickoff.
kickoff. Yeah, and then this will go out probably on Tuesday.
I
on
think
Tuesday,
it'll be
something
Norwich. I'm gonna Norwich. My original prediction was Norwich, Burnley, Newcastle.
like that. I agree with you, I think.
No, I had Watford, Burnley, Newcastle. I don't think Watford can start though.
I think Norwich,
I think
Norwich,
Watford
Burnley
will be alright.
I do, yeah, I do.
Do you think?
I think they'll be okay, but I think they're going to
Ranieri's
be down there. So
5-2 against Everton. Like,
Everyone thinks what Burnley are going down, don't they? Which is weird, bearing in mind Burnley normally stay up.
But I mean, Sean Dyche is he the longest serving manager in the Premier League?
Yeah,
Sure he is.
yeah,
one of
Nicked a
yeah.
point at Chelsea. Like, I mean, nicked a point.
yeah. True.
What about top four?
Top four. Well, top of the table, Chelsea ongoing. City second. Liverpool third.
That fourth is up
His
for
fourth,
grabs.
yeah, that fourth is massively up for grabs. United are nowhere near, they're off at the moment.
Fourth. I feel like United will get that fourth place.
Do you think Ollie will go? For how long?
I'll be honest with you.
I've got my opinions
I
on
think
it.
he needs to.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. They've got the team to challenge at the title. Challenge at the top.
paper,
Young manager. But who's going to go there? That's the question.
There's no available manager at the moment. Like with Conte going to Spurs, I know I personally said that I didn't want him, but I don't know who else there would be in terms of take over his Ten Hag, Zidane.
They've been linked with Zidane for a long time.
Bruno Lage.
Bruno Lage.
No. No.
I'll tell you,
Where do you think Wolves will finish this season, actually?
I originally said top 10. I'll be happy with top 10 finish. I'm still going to stick with that, but the way we've recently played, bit by the result yesterday, let's forget about this game yesterday.
Yeah.
I do think we could challenge for that Europa Conference League spot, that new European competition. So
Yeah, it'd be good.
there's a lot of teams who could fight up there. I mean, you've got Brighton who are near the top.
Yeah, they're doing
West
well
Ham
this season.
again. This season's
yeah.
weird.
Oh, yeah, true. West Ham could
West
be.
Ham
yeah,
are
West
challenging
Ham
for top.
looking good. Today's a big game for them against Liverpool.
Liverpool today.
Yeah.
If they win
If they-
that,
They beat Liverpool. They go above Liverpool and go third.
4:30.
4:30.
4:30.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, it's a big game.
Have to
What
watch
about
that.
Antonio Conte to Tottenham? What's your opinion on that?
Good move. Obviously, with Nuno going to Spurs, obviously leaving us.
He was rubbish.
Um,
And no offence.
he did an amazing job with us.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It's
It was the style of football he played, though, wasn't it? It was the way he set up. He did really well with
it's
that.
it's completely different
Yeah.
under Bruno.
Yeah.
But I don't think his style fits Spurs. A lot of the players didn't like him. The fans didn't really like him. I don't think he was like seventh choice on
Yeah,
the
he
list
was
when
like
he originally
seventh,
came
He
in.
wasn't the man. Let's be honest. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think he was the right man at first. And no Conte going there. I do think you'll do well with him. I do think you will win that Europa Conference League.
Oh, yeah, I do as well. I think
100%.
he'll win the League Cup as
I think-
well.
I think-
Chance they
knocked
don't get
out.
out of the group, isn't there? Or have you?
We're second.
Oh,
If we beat Stad Rennes, we should.
Yeah, right.
I feel like
We're at home.
under Conte, I mean, regardless who went there with the Kane situation, he's always going to be tough because he handed in a transfer
Poison
request.
Chalice with it a bit, really. But.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, no matter what, no matter
Okay,
who was
yeah.
going in there, they were going to have that issue, weren't they?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Kane wanting to leave.
Yeah.
Now Ken wants to stay.
It's
Well, why
like-
wouldn't you though? If
Yeah,
you've got
exactly.
Conte manager?
What about your FPL this weekend? You know, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've got my own in the Fantasy Premier League. I've got my own league. If you want to join it, I do put it on my
I'll
socials.
put the link in
and
the
that.
description.
Yeah.
Go to the description.
Like, I'm doing competitions as well, so the prizes. I mean, I've got over 1,000 people in there.
Yeah.
There's quite a
Good
lot in
that,
there.
it's good that going.
I mean, it's doing well. I mean, most of mine are playing today, so I've got like Salah in there and everything. Vardy.
Yeah.
So they're playing today and that. So
Whereabouts are you in the league? In your league?
It's got to be top. Come on.
I wish I was top. I'm not. I'm kind of near the middle, I think, towards the
That
top.
means
Right.
bottom. That means
I'm
near
not.
the bottom.
But I'll be honest with you. I've been nice. I've been generous. I haven't been doing it properly, really.
Right, okay.
I
Because
find it really hard, don't you?
yeah,
Like, to keep track of it.
it's hard because like some weeks, it's like some good results, some others, and like and people always sending me, "Oh, I'm above you," blah, blah, blah. But I don't really want to win my own league because I want to
You don't get the prizes out
Yeah,
there.
I don't get the prize out, but then again, I do because
Pride.
yeah. But I've always said if I win my own league, I'll go to second and
Yeah,
third.
yeah,
I'm always gonna
yeah,
prize
yeah.
first, second, and third. I mean, I have said a couple, but I might up the. Like, I originally said a tenner, but I might up it to be honest. I
Yeah,
might up
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, we don't blame you for maybe forgetting about it. Look, you've got a lot on your plate.
Yeah,
yeah.
You've got you balancing a lot. I mean, what have we got anything else?
I think that's it. What was just so we can get it? What was your winner? So your winner of the league was Chelsea. Who was your relegated three again? Was it Norwich?
Norwich,
Say Burnley.
Burnley, and that last one's always tough. But I'm gonna go Watford.
Watford. And what about the top scorer? The
Top
league?
scorer. Salah.
Salah.
Yeah,
Nice.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
with this, I mean, is there anything you'd like to like just say to like fans, like anything that you'd want to like maybe get?
I just want to again thank you guys for the support because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in. I want to thank you guys for inviting me on as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
How many followers are you on your socials?
What, so
On YouTube, we got about 390
Yes.
something
No, it's
subscribers.
97, I think. It's
97.
one
And on
yeah.
the Instagram, we're on about 360.
Yeah, smart.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Let's try and get both on Instagram and YouTube, get them to 1K by Christmas. I know you guys can do it.
Oh,
I
wow.
said two.
That is a big goal.
I
My
said
goodness.
on the lads podcast I was on previously, I'll set a goal 5K for them by I think it was Halloween. They hit it before then. You guys did it for them. Do it for these. I want you to go even higher as well. If you can.
Luke,
Cheers,
thank
Luke.
you.
Yeah, you guys can do
so
it.
much.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
Thank you. Honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure,
You're
yeah,
amazing,
absolutely.
man.
Thank you so much.
Anyway,
Incredible.
like Luke said, you can check out the socials. They will be in the description. Luke's will all be in there as well. His FPL League,
It's fantasy
everything else.
code, yeah.
Fantasy
Definitely go
code.
join that.
Yeah, go check that out. We'll be back next Tuesday at 6 p.m. We're not sure what we're doing next Tuesday at 6 p.m. yet. I think we might. We're
got
going to
Annie.
take a guess. Oh, we have got Annie. Yes,
We've got Annie.
guests,
So
we've got
Luke's
guests,
podcast
yes.
will obviously be out next week, and then Annie's will be out.
Yeah, the week
Yeah.
after. Yeah, so we have got another guest next week. We'll be back in the furnace. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And thank you for Luke coming down
Thank
again.
you
Really
so much.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much. Thank you. It's really
And
enjoyable.
goodbye.